So it's day one of week 2, Monday evening. Time to have another go at the piano, another 15 minutes. It's it's 9:15, nearly 9:15. So let's see what we can do in 15 minutes today. So back to Ramblin. So last night I was quite pleased with how I played this piece all the way through. We practiced all last week, really focusing on the last 2 bars, but then working backwards and ironing out some of the issues. So let's actually see if I can play it from cold all the way through, but keeping the tempo sensible. Well, I'm going to edit the additional accompaniment there from the end of that, because I was really pleased with that. I think that was really good, played cold. And so the question becomes what to do this week, what to focus on. The tempo needs to be 120 crotchets per minute. In fact, there's a range, 120 to 138, and we did test to find out what that sounds like last night I think it was, with the metronome, and it is pretty pacey. So we're not heading for that first. So while I get, because I'm going to need to get the notes in my head for that. Hello. So while I'm getting the notes in my head, I've got 2 things I can practice: the pedalling and the dynamics. I think I've got the articulation okay. The melody is played smoothly, and for the most part the accompaniment is played with more detachment. It's not staccato, but there are no lines over the accompaniment apart from in a couple of places. Thank you, Winnie. I think you're sitting right in the way there, aren't you? That's right, you sit down nicely. What a good girl. So the dynamics, the first line is easy enough. It starts off mezzo forte with a crescendo at the end, and then the second line, it starts off forte, but then it's piano in the right hand, which is then the accompaniment. But I think it stays forte for the tune in the left hand, and it stays the same. Well, the next line, there isn't any indication at the start, so do we stay the same? Piano in the right hand and forte in the left, which is now the accompaniment. I don't think that's right. My expectation is that the melody is louder than the accompaniment all the way through, apart from both being mezzo forte at the start. Because in the 4th line, you can see that it goes to mezzo forte in the left hand, which is then the melody, and piano in the right hand, which is the accompaniment. And then it goes forte for both hands in the last line. So let's see what we can make of that. If we're going to go up to forte and down to piano, mezzo forte needs to be a medium loud to start with. I've got to have somewhere to go in both directions. Isn't it strange how quickly it falls apart when you're trying to think of something else? And nothing else changes in that last line. It's forte from the start and it's forte all the way to the end. But it was so much more difficult concentrating on trying to make the fingers in one hand a different dynamic to the fingers in the other. That's actually really quite hard. You need to practice. Yeah, that is a difficult mental balance. So the lines that have this, the first line is mezzo forte both hands. The fifth line is forte both hands. Lines 2, 3 and 4 have this issue, so I think those are the ones we need to practice, aren't they? So forte in the left hand, piano in the right. And then forte in the right and piano in the left. Yeah, that is really challenging. How do you come down harder in the one hand and not the other? It is possible. You literally have to break it down line by line. I won't worry too much about wrong notes when I'm trying to. That is a challenge. That's as challenging, if not more so, than getting the notes right. Challenging stuff. I think we've gone to 20 minutes there. Not to worry. I'll forgive myself that. Yeah, good stuff, but challenging.